Yo, welcome in. My name is Sweet Phil, and today right here, I'm going over a guide to farming Lower Kurast. Now, there's actually going to kind of be two separate guides for this particular area because it's going to differ a little bit whether you're doing it online or whether you're doing it on single player. On single player, this is by far, bar none, the fastest possible way to get high runes in Diablo 2 Resurrected. It is a little bit slower due to the extended load screens here in Diablo 2 Resurrected as opposed to regular Diablo 2, but it still is the fastest way. And then online, it's going to be a little bit more drawn out. You're not going to find the high runes quite as fast, but it's still a good area to farm. And I'll go over a few different things, the different types of builds and different types of characters that excel at Lower Kurast. And one good thing about Lower Kurast is it almost doesn't matter necessarily what level you are, especially on single player, because you don't actually need to kill anything to farm high runes at Lower Kurast. I know.
It's crazy.
But you can actually get high runes without even killing anything. It kind of goes against all of the normal logic that you'd use for farming high runes anywhere else. So as we get into the video here, make sure you press that little tiny like button for me. And now, let's get after it. Alrighty, now first I'm going to go over to build here. Now the build actually isn't super important unless you're going for the max efficiency while you're doing this. And that is of course what I'm doing. So I'll start off with the stat points. Super easy. 156 into strength to hold the spirit. Just enough dex that you need in order to wear your gear. I didn't need to add any. And the rest into vitality. No mana. Don't worry about resistances, any of this stuff, because at Lower Kurast you don't need to worry about even killing anything. Now we'll take a look at the skill tree. Skill tree super easy. The only important skills, honestly, just have telekinesis and have teleport. Like I said, you don't attack anything. If you're specifically doing this for Lower Kurast, you could max out warmth. That way you never have to worry about mana. But if you just have 1 point in the mana, you can just have an insight on your mercenary, and that will also help out keep your mana up. But because this is on single player, I went ahead and put maxed out warmth so I didn't have to worry about it. Cold skills, I do use frozen armor sometimes, so for Lower Kurast, frozen armor sometimes, telekinesis things when you need to, teleport around, and having points in the warmth. Anything else is just if you want to deal damage, or if you do deal damage. You can see here this was actually a Firewall Nova Sorceress that I was just dabbling around with here. But that's for the skill tree, easy peasy. We'll take a look at the gear. And the gear, I have all faster cast rate stuff on here. Once again, I will repeat, this is just for faster cast rate. And now I have the Whiz Spike, 50% faster cast rate, the Griffin's Eye with 25 FCR on it, just for the cast rate. Don't worry about any of the other stuff pretty much. I got a 20 FCR caster amulet. Now, if you can't get this, you can make up this FCR on the rings here. I have these Nagel rings. I was doing some magic finding the last time I put this together. Magic Find does not affect the rune drops, so you don't really need these. Why replace them? It doesn't really matter at all. But you could go 10 FCR, and that would make up for this. But I decided to use the 20 FCR amulet here. I have Spirit Monarch. I got 30 FCR here. Boots, doesn't matter. Whatever you want to use that'll help out survivability. Probably would be better off getting faster hit recovery boots here, but whatever, it don't matter. More faster cast rate on here. I never use Switch, but I do have a CTA, but I never even bother using it. It doesn't even really matter. And the mercenary, like I said, whatever the best gear you have over here to use for this armor and the helmet. And what is important, the insight, that way you will never ever run out of mana there with that stuff. Now, this is on single player, what I'm about to show you now, and I'll show you the online, or just talk about the online differences when I'm done with this. But this is the fastest way, in my opinion, in order to run through these as fast as you can on single player. So, starting off in Act 4, come down here, go to Lower Kurast. Now, on single player, you want to reset the maps over and over till you get a really good map. And I'll explain right now what a really good map is. What you're looking for is this fire with these tiki torches around it. What you'll find is to the left there's a hut here, and to the right there's a hut there. This is what this tile always looks like when you have it. There can be up to 2 of these on the map, sometimes there's 1. On single player, you always want to farm a map until you find 2 of these fires. Now, by farming a map, for newer players that don't know, if you teleport around Lower Kurast and you only find that there's 1, or they're super far apart, go to Nightmare and create a game, and then come back to Hell and create a game, and the maps will reset. When they reset, teleport around until you find one that has 2 fires right next to the waypoint. Here's the waypoint. Here's one fire. Here's another fire. This is an absolutely amazing Lower Kurast map, and then you can teleport right back to the waypoint. So you come down here, and these are super chests in here. Make sure you always have several keys in here when you're running this so you never run out. An important step that I do make sure I want to mention, I will get out of your way. Before you pop the chests, before you leave town really, you want to go Players 7 difficulty. Players 7 and 8 will have the same drops, and the higher the difficulty, the better the drops from these super chests will be. But it goes on the basis of Players 1, Players 3, Players 5, and Players 7. So if you go to Players 8, all it does is make the monsters hit a little harder and have a little bit more health, but it will not increase the drops at all, so don't really worry about that. Up in this one, there is one super chest and one weapons rack. So you'll see down here, I already hit that one, and I already hit this one. Teleport up here, go to the waypoint, go back to Act 4, and then I'm going to cycle real quick here to show you the fastest way to run these. Now, boom, you go to hell here. I'm going to come back into Act 4 because that's where I left. Telekinesis up, make sure you get in Player 7 difficulty, go to Lower Kurast. Now, because I have the same map every time on single player, I know exactly where it is. Boom, boom, nothing out of that one. Boom, nothing out of that one. If you want to, there's a lot of other stuff around you can hit. You don't have to. You hear and see, look at all the other good stuff. Grand Charm, Flawless, Jewel. There's all different kind of other stuff you can grab here if you want to. Not to mention, I'm going to grab this wired fleece here also, just in case it ends up being something crazy, like, you know, a mechanics of the whale or something like that. But you come back to Act 4, and then you can save and exit. Just for purposes of why I do that, I get asked all the time when I was doing it, I'm going to pretend as if I was in Act 3. Let's say you're at Lower Kurast here, and you're teleporting around hitting everything, and instead of teleporting back to the waypoint, you just save and exit. In my opinion, this will take longer because when you spawn in, you're way out on this dock with Mashif, and you have to run a super long way. Running, and now you can telekinesis it and go to Lower Kurast and do it again. In my opinion, that appears to be longer. It is much closer of a gap than it was in regular Diablo 2 because the load screens are so long in Diablo 2 Resurrected, but I feel as though it's still faster to do it this way, to come to Act 4, save and exit, and then you can telekinesis the waypoint right there. Alright, so now I am still on my single player character, but we're going to be talking about the way that people generally would be doing Lower Kurast online. It's not the same as it is on single player because, like I said, you don't know where those campfires are. You're not going to be able to find the super chests as efficiently. They're not going to be in the same spot. So when you go to Lower Kurast, generally it would be not in a game that they make and play by themselves because the drop rates on high runes is astronomically lower when you have Players 1 difficulty as opposed to a higher level difficulty of game. So generally they'll go into full cow games or bale games and stuff like that while they're maybe waiting for someone to get the leg or waiting for somebody to get down to the throne room. They'll teleport around in here, and a lot of times they do too. People will hit a lot of these other poppables around because you can see there's different weapons racks that can drop good stuff. There's dead bodies, there's tons of logs and stuff as you're teleporting around. Now you don't have to. If you strictly want to just look for the high runes, you can skip all this stuff and strictly teleport around until you find yourself these campfires. Whoop, there's one. There's a campfire. Hit it over here, hit it over here. Now sometimes there are two campfires, so you can continue to teleport around. Because you don't know where it is, you can check down this way, teleport back up this way. Oh, there's another campfire. So this map has two. Sometimes there's only one, and you can grab whatever you want out of here. And if you want to, like I said, hit some of these other poppables. Or if you're not using a sorceress, I've seen other people also have done this. Maybe if you're a barbarian, you can get Frenzy, and Frenzy with a ton of faster walk run, you can run around. This is going to be slow because I'm a sorceress, but run, do some attacks, and because your Frenzy gets you wound up and running super fast, now you're running super fast. Run, attack some more stuff so that you run faster. Hit some of these poppables, keep running, hit some more stuff so you keep running fast. Hit some more poppables. So with Barbarian I've seen it done, and with Paladin having Vigor and just ton of faster walk run, I've seen it done with both of those. But in general, teleporting around with a sorceress, not necessarily having to have 200 FCR, but at least getting up to the 105 to teleport around fast enough is the best way, in my opinion, that you're going to want to do it online. So hopefully these tips and tricks help you out for farming high runes and all that other good stuff from Lower Kurast. Hey, if you like that video, check out up over here. YouTube spies on you. They know everything you watch on YouTube, and they know that you're going to like these videos right up over here. So check them out. Peace out, YouTube. Hopefully I catch you next video. Hey guys, don't forget, keep slaying.